There's a better way to rent movies. As many as you want for just $20 a month. Go to Netflix.com, make a list of the movies you want to see, and in about one business day, you'll get 3 DVDs.
We all know Netflix as our savior from boredom, but we haven't wondered how Netflix played a crucial part in destroying Blockbuster.
Welcome to Blockbuster Video.
Is popping up all over the country. There's one near you.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
For many of us from the 2000s and back, Blockbuster was the heaven of movies, and a trip to their store was a moment we all cherished. The large shelves with hundreds of movie DVDs and the bright colors of the stores used to bring vibrance to our daily lives. But how did the big boy Blockbuster that had 9,000 plus video rental stores in the US, employed 84,000 people worldwide, had 65 million registered customers, and was a behemoth valued at a whopping $3 billion, go out of business? Was it really because of a leadership shakeup that toppled an empire? Or was it because the big boy charged the usual late fees to an unusual guy, Reed Hastings, the founder of Netflix? Let's find out. Blockbuster was founded by David Cook, a software supplier to the oil and gas industry in Texas, who saw the potential of video rental business. And so, Blockbuster came into being with the opening of their first store on October 19, 1985 in Dallas. David said that on the opening night, they had to lock the doors because of overcrowding. This alone tells a lot about Blockbuster's success in the upcoming years. Cook also built a $6 million distribution center to not only pop up new stores in a haste, but also to house a huge range of movie titles to capture all the market Blockbuster could lay its hands on. Another creative stroke that Blockbuster played at the time was to house tens of thousands of movies with the help of the new innovative barcode system that could track every customer, while the independent rentals played in peanuts as they could only track a maximum of a few hundred. Blockbuster went wild to get into the big league. In 1987, 3 investors came as angels and gave Blockbuster $18.5 million. The Waste Management founder, Wayne Huizenga, was one of them, and invested for which in return he got the rising sensation's voting control. Yet, after a couple months of intense arguments between Cook and Huizenga, Cook left Blockbuster, and Huizenga assumed control. With the new emperor Huizenga, Blockbuster went on an aggressive expansion plan, in which they bought other rental stores, which led Blockbuster's store opening rate to become 1 per day. These masterstrokes made Blockbuster the #1 video rental in the US. But as Blockbuster was enjoying its triumph and dominating music and video game rentals in the early 90s, the rise of cable television started to shake up the market. Sensing the upcoming threat, Huizenga sold Blockbuster to media giant Viacom for $8 billion. Where this looks like a clever move, it was one of the biggest blunders Blockbuster ever made. Blockbuster had 2 options on the table: either partner up with Viacom or buy a cable company, along with an approval from the Florida legislature to build a Blockbuster amusement park in Miami. And in 2 years under Viacom, Blockbuster lost half its value. In 1999, a newspaper article by the Chicago Sun-Times stated, "Imagine a Blockbuster night without Blockbuster, a time when no video store will slap you with a late fee or fine for failing to rewind. Because in this world, there are no videos, only home computers." This comment from a journalist hinted at what Blockbuster had in store for its videos. The market giant was already well known for charging its customers a late fee for every day they delayed to return their movie. This alone made Blockbuster $800 million in a single year. They were rolling in dough. It frustrated many customers, including Netflix founder Reed Hastings. Hastings said that aggravation caused by a $40 fine he acquired for returning a late rental to Blockbuster is part of what made his mind come up with Netflix. Hastings developed Netflix to provide a more convenient way to rent movies. Just go to the Netflix website, make a list of movies you want to watch, and in about one business day, you'll get 3 DVDs from that list mailed to you. Not only this, but you could keep them for as long as you want, and when you're done, just send them back in a prepaid envelope, and Netflix will send you 3 more DVDs from your list. Within the next few years, the hunters started to become the hunted. Netflix, along with other competitors, started to eat up and pick their share from Blockbuster's profits. All of it was made possible through innovation into the digital realm.
Like Netflix destroyed Blockbuster, not because they fundamentally changed the product at all. All they did was they made it happen immediately and from the comfort of your home, right? And so they just dramatically decreased the cost and effort that was associated with watching movies, and boom, they blew up. Easiest business models in the world is just look at what everyone else is doing and do it in half the time. There's no easy alternative. And the goal should be with our services that we have, that no one can hold up our service and somebody else's and say, these two are similar enough, I'll pick the cheaper one. And so the goal is, how can we differentiate ourselves in enough ways? You clean houses, so you can clean houses in less time because it's just less inconvenience when you're there in their house.
Less time and less money, or same money?
Same money.
In 2000, Blockbuster made their first big mistake by rejecting the offer to buy Netflix for a mere $50 million, which was like a couple $100 for a company like Blockbuster that was making an $800 million profit annually with just late fees alone. Plus, Reed Hastings even offered to change Netflix's name to Blockbuster.com. Blockbuster buying out Netflix would have led to Reed Hastings leading the development of an online streaming platform, similar to what Netflix is today. Perhaps in an alternate reality, maybe Netflix never existed, and instead of Netflix and chill, we could have been doing Blockbuster binging. But arrogance had been running wild in Blockbuster as they declined the purchase and massively undervalued what Netflix could provide them. In the following year, another blow came to Blockbuster's VHS empire. After Blockbuster turned down Netflix, Netflix kept the business wheel running while Hastings hoped for DVD players to break into the market. God heard Pastor Reed's prayers, and in 2001, DVD players became far more affordable and gained much needed attention. VHS saw its popularity go down the hill as the brand new slim DVD technology paved its way over Blockbuster's ignorance. Obviously, DVD players would be useless if there's no DVD, and that's where Netflix came to fill the gap. As soon as the DVD players came in the market, Netflix was the first in line to fill that void, providing customers with convenient DVD rentals straight to their door. In 2002, Blockbuster saw the rise of their biggest rival, Redbox, whose arrival into the fast-paced market reinforced the bitter truth that customers now wanted a quicker and more convenient rental service with no late fees. Even though Blockbuster was hustling and bustling in 2004, Viacom saw fit to part ways with Blockbuster, and that same year, Blockbuster came up with Blockbuster Online. But it was too little too late. Blockbuster Online was already years behind Netflix, which by then had amassed a whopping 3 million customer base, wasn't suffering with store overhead costs, and was now looking forward to creating the revolutionary Netflix streaming service that we all know and use today. Now, Blockbuster talked some sense into itself and ended their ridiculous late fees, which was estimated to cost Blockbuster $200 million and another $200 million to start their online venture. Even though Blockbuster came out of its orthodox belief of VHS as the sole moneymaker and started to focus on its online DVD rental by mail service, the system was still years behind Netflix. As time passed, Blockbuster lost its prestige of decades over ignorant decisions, making its market value dwindle. As per Forbes, Blockbuster lost 75% of its market value between 2003 and 2005. Nevertheless, Blockbuster's stubborn investors were still persistent that the future of home cinema was in the rental store model, so they ventured to swipe up even more locations and made the most aggressive and reckless decision to buy their biggest competitor, Hollywood Video. Billionaire investor Carl Icahn was all revved up to see this deal done, and so he facilitated the takeover by becoming Blockbuster's largest shareholder, with 9.98 million shares worth about $83.9 million. Blockbuster proposed an offer of $700 million to buy Hollywood Video, which later even went to $1 billion. But Hollywood Video signed an agreement with a much smaller company, Movie Gallery, and was bought by them in January 2005. With so much invested in Blockbuster and Hollywood Video out of the equation, ICANN looked for ways to raise Blockbuster's stock value, which caused tensions between himself and at that time CEO Johnny Antioco. This internal conflict between Antioco and other board members persuaded Antioco to leave Blockbuster. Thus, Blockbuster again suffered with the change of leadership in 2007. And by the same year, the big boy got hit by the biggest fatality move played against it. In 2007, Netflix launched their state-of-the-art streaming service, leading Netflix on its journey to becoming a streaming giant, while Blockbuster's profits saw steep declines time after time. Now, Netflix played its masterstroke by signing the deal with Starz Entertainment. This deal blessed Netflix with exclusive digital distribution rights to bring thousands of movies and TV shows to the platform. In 2009, Netflix posted earnings of $116 million, whereas Blockbuster, in the midst of its financial, legal, and internal struggles, lost $518 million and were still in substantial debt with their previous parent company, Viacom. The inevitable demise of Blockbuster came in July 2010 as the company was delisted from the New York Stock Exchange and slowly went into oblivion.
This really is the end of an era. Blockbuster will close all of its remaining stores, about 300 of them, and shut down its DVD mailing service by early January. Back in 2004, Blockbuster had 9,000 locations, but then Netflix came along and turned the rental industry on its head. Blockbuster, which is now owned by the Dish Network, will live on as a streaming service.
The biggest reason for its tragic death was Blockbuster's pride and their negligence towards the potential opportunities of innovation. Their leadership had built an effective machine, but failed to adapt. This sealed the giant's fate, as within the next 3 years, Blockbuster's dominance faded away and was slain by its own hubris. Had it signed that $50 million deal, we would have witnessed Blockbuster still being on top. That's how fate is in the cutthroat business world. Either you take the right deal at the right time, or start digging your own grave. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.